The Nigeria national football team represents Nigeria in men's international football. Governed by the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF), they are three-time African Cup of Nations winners, with their most recent title in 2013. In April 1994, the Nigerian national football team was ranked 5th in the FIFA ranking, the highest FIFA ranking position ever achieved by an African football team. Throughout history, the team has qualified for 6 of the last 8 FIFA World Cup, missing only the 2006 and 2022 editions. They have reached the round of 16 of 3 occasions. The first World Cup appearance was the 1994 edition. The team is a member of FIFA and Confederation of African Football (CAF). The Nigeria-UK tourist national team prior to the tour of the UK in 1949. The team were known among the West African nations at the time as the Red Devils due to their red shirt. After playing other colonies in unofficial games since the 1930s, Nigeria played its first official game in 1949, while still a British colony. The team played war-up games in England against various amateur teams including Bromley, Dulwich Hamlet, Bishop Auckland and South Liverpool. Nigeria's match against Marine AFC at Hosset Park drew 6,000 spectators, a record for the small ground. Nigeria first appeared in the African Cup of Nations in 1963 when they were drawn in a group with Sudan and the then United Arab Republic. They did not advance to the next stage. The team's first major success was a gold medal in the second All-Africa Games in 1973, with third place finish in 1976 and 1978 African Cup of Nations to follow. In 1980, with players such as Segun Odegbami and Best Ogedegbe, the team led by Christian Chukwu won the African Cup for the first time in Lagos. Nigeria Olympic men's football team won the football event at the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, beating Mexico, Brazil and Argentina in the process. They were runners-up in the same event at the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, losing to Argentina in a rematch of the 1996 final of the event. In 1984, 1988 and 2000, Nigeria reached the Cup of Nations final, losing to Cameroon. 3 of the 5 African titles won by Cameroon have been won by defeating Nigeria. Missing out to Cameroon on many occasions has created an intense rivalry between both nations. 3 notable occasions, narrowly losing out in the 1988 African Cup of Nations, qualified for the 1990 World Cup and the controversial final of the 2000 African Cup of Nations, where a kick taken by Victor Ikpeba during the penalty shootout was adjudged not to have crossing the goal line by the referee. The team withdrew from 2 African Cup of Nations between 1963 and 1974 due to political instability and in 1996. In 1976, They came back to the Cup of Nations with third place finished in both the 1976 and 1978 Africa Cup of Nations. Nigeria hosted the 1980 African Cup of Nations and also won their first Cup of Nations, titled and years in Lagos. Nigeria came out as runners up 3 times at one group stage elimination between 1982 and 1990. They also failed to qualify for the 1986 African Cup of Nations hosted by Egypt. Nigeria appeared again in African Cup of Nations in 1992 and 1994. They finished third in 1992 and won the 1994 African Cup of Nations, which was the second time they won the tournament. Nigeria finally reached the World Cup for the first time in 1994 after years of struggling to get there. They were managed by Clement Westerhoff. Nigeria topped their group, which included Argentina, Bulgaria, and Greece. Nigeria defeated Bulgaria 3-0, lost to Argentina 1-2, and reached the second round after a 2-0 victory over Greece. In the second round, Nigeria played Italy and took the lead with a goal from Emmanuel Amunike at 25 minutes. Nigeria were within 2 minutes of qualifying for the quarterfinal, but Roberto Baggio scored to take the game to extra times. He also scored the eventual winning goal. The game ended 2-1 in favor of the Italians. In 1996, the team withdrew from the tournament under pressure from the country's military dictator Sani Abacha due to criticism received from the tournament host South Africa and especially its president Nelson Mandela for the execution of Ogoni activist Ken Saro-Wiwa. Nigeria was subsequently banned from entering the 1998 African Cup of Nations. In 1998, Nigeria returned to the World Cup alongside Cameroon, Morocco, Tunisia, and South Africa. Optimism was high due to its manager Bora Milutinovic and the return of most 1994 squad members. In the final tournament, Nigeria were drawn into Group B with Spain, Bulgaria, Paraguay. Nigeria scored a major upset by defeating Spain 3-2 after coming back twice from being 1-0 and 2-1 down. The Eagles qualified for the second round with a win against Bulgaria and lost to Paraguay. The team's hopes of surpassing its 1994 performance was shattered after a 1-4 loss to Denmark. This is currently the only World Cup where Nigeria qualified for without playing Argentina in the tournament final. In 2000, they returned to the Cup of Nations and were the runners-up and subsequently finished in third place at the 2002, 2004 and 2006 African Cup of Nations.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mama